Hi, I'm Arlene McIntyre, Creative Director at Ventura Design, and you're listening to Shut the Front Door, a light-hearted podcast that will bring you through the front door and into the homes of influential and interesting people. Home for me is one of the most important things in my life. My career has fortunately given me the opportunity to work closely with people and to help them create a home they will cherish forever. We are delighted to welcome Sophie Habboo to Shut the Front Door today. Since 2017, Sophie has graced our TV screens on the hit reality show Made in Chelsea. Holistic wellness and fitness is something that Sophie is very passionate about, as well as a strong focus on nutrition. Her tips and lifestyle advice, showcased on her popular Instagram account, inspire her growing numbers of followers daily. Most recently, Sophie has created and designed her own line of jewelry in collaboration with New and Me. And only a few weeks ago, along with her sister, she launched her own sustainable swimwear range. Sophie, it's my great pleasure to welcome you to Shut the Front Door. Well, hello, Sophie.
Hey, Arlene, how are you? Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, so how's life been treating you?
It's been okay. It's actually been quite, almost quite enjoyed it. There's obviously been days where I've been there's not much to do, but it has been quite nice to just sort of shut down. Jamie and I were in the country for 9 weeks, and it was crazy because we went and we were like, oh, it's only going to be 10 days. So I had one pair of tracksuit bottoms with me, one top, one pair of trainers. I was like, I'll be back in London in a week. It'll all be over. Jamie was like, it'll be 2 weeks max. And then it was obviously 9 weeks and it's still going on. It's been okay. It's been all right. How have you found it?
Yeah, good. I mean, busy. Like we were just chatting about before we started recording. It's been very productive for us, certainly, in a different way, because we started the online shop and we just found ways to, I guess, amuse ourselves in a new way. We're so used to a certain level of being busy all the time, and it was kind of hard to jump off that circuit. And then we just started finding other things that needed doing, and that's how we've gotten through it, really.
Yeah, it's crazy that you can fill up your day with doing you don't know what. Because I don't even know what I've been doing every day, but I've managed to stay quite busy.
The country sounds great, though. So loads of long walks. Do you have dogs?
Loads of long walks. Well, so Jamie's mum, we were staying basically with Jamie's mum, and his mum got this little puppy during lockdown, which was the cutest thing in the entire world. She was called Darcy. So we were so lucky. I mean, we really couldn't have been luckier. And she was just adorable. But yeah, we did a lot of long walks, walked 3.5 hours a day, a lot of muddy shoes, a lot of going back to the local food shop was our big outing of the week. But yeah, it was nice. It was nice to sort of just shut down. I guess and also it was weird because you feel like you because you're so disconnected from everyone. But actually, weirdly, I didn't feel I was. I spoke to probably most of my friends more than I would have done normally.
Yeah. It's incredible how it has made us all more connected.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no, it's good. So are you back in London now?
So we came back to London, which is actually really nice. I just feel like I really sort of miss just walking on flat ground, because it was every walk I was like, I'm doing a hike right now because there was so many hills. But I do, I really miss London. It's really nice to be back. Obviously the weather's been great. Yeah, it's really nice. And obviously now that we can see sort of people, you can see up to 6 people. And also before I could go walk to my sister's house, wave at her, etc. So
that's
been
great.
Nice to be back.
Okay, so I'd love to chat with you about your childhood home and all your memories of your first childhood memories of growing up.
So my first childhood home.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't really remember my first one, but the one that I moved to when I was about 6, so I guess that's childhood enough. That it was actually really nice. We were very lucky. It was quite a big house. I had 2 Dobermans. Do you want the full on? Do you want the interior? So
go for it.
So I actually remember we moved in and it was awful. It was so horrendously designed. It had white gravel outside, a big green patch, had a coach house, and then the the house, and the carpet was green, like dark green. And my mum had to take, oh my gosh, no, actually the carpet upstairs was dark green. The floor carpet was flowers all over it. Obviously we redecorated, and we put sort of marble in. And then the kitchen, which was on the right as you walked in, had sort of a big island. It had like grey stony floor, big windows with looking out onto the garden. And then there was the dining room just off that. And then there was a long sort of hallway corridor area. And then we had a living room, and then we had a room which we called like the snug, and it was like a really cute, cozy sort of lounge area. And then we had obviously our upstairs, which had my parents' bedroom, and their bathroom, and then my sister and my room was actually conjoined.
Mm-hmm.
But it was actually really interesting because the main house was actually, it was basically, they had sort of knocked it down. And my side of the house was where the sort of staff would have lived. And so it was a completely different, and it had such a different feel to the rest of the house. And I actually never slept in my bed because I was so scared of it. I always thought there was ghosts in my bed, in my side of the house. I always slept in my parents' bed, and it was only until we moved when I was about 13 that my parents were like, "Yeah, no one used to like going on your side of the house."
Wow. Okay. And then how long were you in that home for?
So we were there until I was about 13.
Mm-hmm.
And then because my parents split up then, and so we moved, and my dad moved to a townhouse, which was really lovely actually. It was in a place called Lansdowne Circus, and it was so beautiful. It was just like a big white townhouse, really well decorated. And my mum actually moved in with her, like into her family home, which was again a really nice house. So we sort of split our time between those two.
Okay. And then what was your own teenage bedroom like?
So my teenage bedroom, it was pretty, it's like, I've always been, my mum's very into interior. And so and she's very sort of like white company, minimalistic.
Yeah.
Clean, creams, neutral colors. So that was always sort of a theme going on. She never sort of went outside of the box. That was always the theme going on throughout our houses. My teenage bedroom was pretty much all cream cushions. I think I had like white company bed sheets.
Okay.
Very neutral. Nothing snazzy. There was no posters on the wall.
Oh.
Pretty pristine. I was very, very, very clean as well at that stage of my life. I was pretty like OCD. I've not really got that anymore, but I was a very, very like vigilant. I was like, everything had to be clean and white and pristine. So my teenage room was pretty grown up actually.
That's crazy. So when you were younger, you were super organized, and now that you're older, you're not.
Yeah, I know. I really was. I was so, like, when I was younger, I wouldn't let people sleep in my bed. I was like, everyone had to have a shower. I sound like a freak, and I actually probably was. I was so obsessed with, like, cleanliness. Like, honestly, my mum was like, it was so bizarre, and they were just praying for me to grow out of it, and I actually just did. And now I'm not dirty now at all, but I just I'm not so obsessed with everything being perfect. I mean, I don't hoover my bedroom. I literally used to be like, no, my floor needs to be hoovered.
Okay, so your bedroom, rather teenage bedroom walls didn't have posters of anybody on it. It was super organized, very stylish, very neutral. Okay, cool. And then when did you move to London?
So then I went to Newcastle University. So I was there for 3 years. And then straight from uni, I went traveling, and then I moved to London.
Okay. And what was that like?
What was my bedroom like at uni?
Yeah. Well, your experience of that, and also what was your space like where you lived?
So so we lived in two houses. So firstly, we moved to halls. It was the best 3 years of my life. I loved it. I think Newcastle was like the funnest place to go, and it was so different. Obviously, it was so far from me. It was like about 4 hours drive. And my sister went there previously. So I'd been up to visit, so I sort of knew what it was like. And I just think that there's sort of like atmosphere up north, like they're so friendly compared to people in London. It's mad. So I like got up there, and also everything's so cheap. So we were just like nights out. I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And I also like didn't really drink much before going to uni. So I was suddenly like hit with this like uni lifestyle of going out 5 nights a week. I was like, hello, this is great. And loved it, obviously. My uni bedroom, what was that like? So it was very small. Castle Leazes I stayed in.
Okay.
They were the halls, and they were actually converted prison cells. So as you can imagine, not that pleasant. Actually really vile, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And I had a tiny, tiny bedroom with a tiny sink in it. I mean, it was a box with a single bed that, like, seriously, like my feet were hanging off the edge. But I decorated it myself. I did it all pretty, like, cotton and cologne, sort of mix match. Actually, I changed my sort of, it wasn't so clean. It was sort of like, I had like pinks and blues and different materials, like some fluffy pillows, some like, linen, different shapes and sizes. I had it like all sort of mix match, but that was sort of the vibe I was going for then.
So it was important to you, even at that point, that you had a really kind of neutral, calm, organized space that you'd come home to.
Yeah, I've always loved sort of my room being done really nicely. I've always I just love interior and design in general. But yeah, it was important. I mean, loads of people did like nothing to their rooms, and then there were other people who got like new carpets, like in their halls, which was crazy. And then we moved to our first house, and that I sort of kept the same sort of vibe. I went quite clean and white. I had quite a big group there, and same with my second year. And then I went traveling for about 4 months. So that was just not there was no continuity there.
Yeah. And where did you go? Where did you travel to?
South America. Well, I did Central America. We were meant to do South America, and we did Colombia, and then we sort of cut it short and ended up actually being in Miami and then coming home.
Okay. Sounds good. Miami's a good place.
Miami's great.
Yeah, totally. And so when did Chelsea start for you? The whole Made in Chelsea thing start for you? The TV show?
Well, I'd been asked whilst I was at uni, but I was just obviously at university, so didn't really think about it. And then I got back from traveling. I did a bit of an internship. Actually, I helped sort of like redesign. Well, I helped with the design of and like when they started the new Annabelle's, which is like a private members club in London.
Yeah.
And it's so beautifully designed. So I loved sort of being involved in that.
Well, really? You were involved? Yeah. Incredible.
Well, no, I wouldn't say I was involved, but I was sort of interning there. So I was like getting to see it. I mean, it was so cool. Like there was such crazy like design.
It's completely off the wall. Incredible. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. So that was really fun. And then whilst I was doing that, I sort of got asked again, and I was like, oh, why not? I didn't really have I wasn't locked down into a job. I was just interning. So I was like, I may as well, give it a go. And then here I am.
There you go. Wow. And then when you were living with different friends from the show at that point, so what was that like?
So that was, I think I was actually living in my dad's apartment on Bankside at the time. And then I moved in with Emily and Miles. That was fine. Like we lived 2 years. It was really fun. It was a bit of a party house at the beginning. So it didn't Emily and I were like struggling to live with a boy. I'd never lived with a boy before, and he was having but just not that clean. Let me just tell you that right now. Just very, very messy. Drink it on the table. I was like, no, that's just not how it goes.
Totally.
But it was fine. It's sort of like it just went, and it went so quickly. I can't believe I was living there for 2 years. It's mad.
Yeah, totally. And you guys are still really good friends, right?
Yeah, we've had like ups and downs, but we are, yeah, we're all fine. I've not spoken to Mars much for a while, but that's just because, like, when you all just sort of like, obviously in this period as well, I think I personally have sort of only spoken to my really, 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 really
Sure.
close friends.
Yeah, sure.
And he's sort of living his life. He's moved in with his mate. And yeah, Emily, I've not really spoken to much either, but she's still living in that house. So
Wow. I know. When I look at you guys on Made in Chelsea, I wonder, will you guys all have like a huge reunion in 25 years and just laugh back at all the memories?
Yeah, I bet we will. I'll be like, God, how so embarrassing.
I know, but like it must be tough because you're kind of living life, and there's emotions, there's real emotions behind all those things, and what will it be like to look back and we all have like a big giggle together and you'll be like, oh my God, can you believe we worried about that? Or
totally. And I think that's what this time has done in general as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like before lockdown, we were still filming. We were only we had to stop during episode 6, I think it is, and we normally do 13 episodes. And there was so much drama going on and everything, and it just sort of we've had this 9 weeks, and I for one, I feel like most of the cast is just like, God, why were we even worried about that? Or why would we ever let something so small sort of affect us? It's definitely sort of given me personally a new perspective on life.
Yeah, I totally agree. And then at the end of the last season of Made in Chelsea, it just finished out really nicely where you could kind of see where everyone was and that this is the way they were going to spend their lockdown, effectively. Yeah. It was done well. And do you find what's the crossover from the show to real life like for you?
In what sense?
Do you is it real? When we're looking at that, say, as the audience looking in at your lives, is a lot of that real? Would you really hook up like that or meet like that? Or is that normal life for you?
So, yeah, I mean, we obviously get sent a time or, this is your cool time or whatever.
Okay.
But it is but that's obviously just because obviously the production need a place. They can't just follow us around. It just wouldn't logistically work with so many of us. But yeah, it pretty much is. I mean, there's definitely no scripts. There's definitely the cameras just sort of roll, and it is what it is.
It seems natural, though. I mean, it looks like you're really, it doesn't look scripted to me anyway. It looks very natural.
No, it's definitely not scripted. But I just think that in life in general, sometimes you just you're everything's heightened at different times, and I think sometimes with the show and with the group of friends, when you're surrounded by, it's almost like you're in a bubble, and it's quite nice to have this time to actually take a step away from that bubble and be actually see the bigger picture. When you're in it and all the time and and you're just going and you're hearing all these things, I think everything gets so heightened and sort of your view on things gets skewed a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. I can only imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, I literally have imagined that that's what it was like.
Yeah.
Yeah. And,
it's a weird concept, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. And the show has obviously been very good to you and to all of the cast members with their businesses. It's an excellent launch pad for everything else. I mean, there's a lot of benefits in doing the show, I'd imagine.
Totally. And also it's just it is so fun. We, our job is to just sort of hang out with our friends, and I've got to go to so many cool places. Went to Buenos Aires, went to Cape Town, all of these different things. So, yeah, there are so many benefits of it, and it has been so fun.
Yeah, it looks like it is. It looks like a dream kind of world that you're living in. You know, it definitely, you get to see a lot of interesting places through your experiences. So for that alone, it's even interesting, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we do get to do a lot of fun things.
And has Jamie been able to give you the inside kind of knowledge on what to do and not to do? Has he been a good helper in the background? Like,
No, he's probably the worst. He probably influences me badly. No, he doesn't really. We don't really talk about that. I mean, because it's just kind of like it's almost like that. We don't really sort of bring that side of things home, or we try
yeah.
not to.
Hmm.
Um, I just do. I think both of us are very sort of like impulsive. So we're not very good at sort of mulling things over. We're quite hot headed. So we're probably the worst. Like we spur each other on, and we're not very good at sort of like, if we both feel something, we definitely like air it. We're not very good at sort of like sitting with things and letting them mellow and like having a very diplomatic view on things. We're quite like, that's how I feel at the moment. That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah, it's not controlled. You just, you
Yeah.
fly off the seat of your pants sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And what's it like living with Jamie and yourself? How have you found it? How's it been?
We've been fine. I mean, we started off like nearly having a million arguments. I was like, I feel like as a girl, I'm actually probably worse. Like I'm just like, I'm like, rah, one day, or like, so like hot and cold. He's probably like, what is going on? But no, we've actually been so fine, and we've been so lucky because we obviously were in the country and now we're here, and we've sort of like, it's gone very well for us. Lockdown, and obviously living together as well. Well, we kind of literally, I moved in and then we went into lockdown. So we've had a real, at least we know we can live with each other now because we've got
we haven't killed each other. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. We survived this, so we can survive normal life.
But what I'm really, really also curious in is when I ask how's it been living, I mean like literally like sharing your things and how have your tastes kind of combined with each other, like do you like certain colors and he likes certain colors? Would you like the room kind of in a certain way and Jamie would like it in a certain way? How have you found it from that perspective?
I definitely I've obviously moved into like Jamie's apartment, which he's been living in for I don't know, 3 years. And I've definitely like thrown things out already and redecorated the room. But he's sort of chilled with that. Like he doesn't even really comment on it. I honestly don't even think he notices. Like I've redone the whole bedroom. I
love it.
He noticed like the first stage, and then from then on, he's not really like noticed. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna keep quiet on that one. The lamps have gone. I threw out about 4 bin bags when I first got here. I was like, this needs to go. The front room, there was a lot of gold and then silver, and I was like, no, you've got to have one or the other. But he sort of lets me take the reins on that, which is great.
Yeah, cool. He trusts you. That's good.
Yeah,
and he knows you've got a good taste, and he'll trust your taste, so that's all good.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, we're sort of like he's looking to move at the moment. So that'll be quite an exciting project to do that.
Gosh, sounds exciting.
Yeah.
And in London, you'll move somewhere else in London, or?
Yeah, definitely in London. Okay. Not quite to the country yet.
Yeah. Well, that's all good. That's positive.
Yeah, it's all good. It's been fine.
Yeah, good. So like even in the kitchen, like what's the fridge situation like in the refrigerator? Are you like if you were a neat freak and you're no longer a neat freak? So,
I was a neat freak. I'm no longer a neat freak, but I don't like it like absolutely. No, I still like it clean. I would say I'm definitely on the neat side.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So even like in the kitchen, in the simplest of ways, like how you organize, your things in the refrigerator and your shelves and your spices and herbs and all that stuff. Are you the same? Like, or do you find that you have different quirks when it comes to even the kitchen?
Oh, I just think Jamie would put anything anywhere. He's also very much like a one day buyer. I mean, he's sort of like is so random with his choice of food. He's definitely like, you just throw anything anywhere. I'm very much like fruit sugar on this. Da, 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 da. He's not so much like that. But again, I just sort of taken control of that. I really jiggle when he puts his stuff in there.
That's
again don't think he notices either.
I had a couple that came into me, and oh my God, they were so funny. And he went to the loo during the meeting, and she was like, "Oh my God, you have no idea." She said, "How much stuff I have in the boot of my car that was in his place when I moved into it." And she was hilarious. And I mean, what she did was including stuff like, objects, accessories, lamps, all that sort of stuff. She practically cleared out his entire place.
Oh my God, I love that.
Also, she said she couldn't completely hide certain shoes that he had, so she'd hide one.
Just like you cannot wear the other one now. That's game over.
And then it was his decision to figure out where he put the other shoe. And the poor guy was demented, and he was like, "Where's my other bloody shoe?" And she's like, "Gee, I don't know." And the local charity shop had all these like single shoes being delivered down in big black bags. Crazy lady. It was the funniest story.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. I definitely haven't been doing that. Although I do think that Jamie thinks I do lose all his stuff, even though I don't. I just tidy it away, and he's like, "Oh, where's it gone?"
So when the show has definitely opened up new doors of opportunity for you.
For sure.
And you have developed your beautiful jewelry range.
I have. Well, I'm at the moment, I'm still developing it. We were meant to have it all developed, but obviously everything had to sort of be put on hold because of COVID. So that is hopefully, I've got that, seen the samples, they're getting back to be sort of finalized. So hopefully, like, I'm thinking August, September, it should be all done.
Great. So watch the space.
Watch the space. I'm very excited about
a little bit with us about it, like even like what kind of metal is it? Is it what material you're using? Or
so we've used like gold and silver. I'm very sort of like into my jewelry. I like quite like chunky. I'm very into rings. I like quite minimalistic again, though. No sort of like patterns or anything, just like silver and gold. Like I've got quite a lot of rings in my collection and things that I've just always wear anyway, and that people have commented on so much. And I don't like, for example, I had a Russian wedding ring that my mum gave me, and she got it from a market when she was 15, and she gave it to me when I was 18, and I've worn it every day since. And so I've just recreated that because I couldn't find one anywhere that was like the right thickness and like texture, etc. So I've just sort of recreated what my dream jewelry is. And also I'm very sort of into like the power of positive thinking and The Secret and all of those sort of things. So there's quite a lot of, I've got like a pinky ring with like a symbol of a frog on, which symbolizes like the power, like The Secret. So little things like that. Yeah.
Wow, a frog.
Yeah, it's a little frog, and it's got like it's not. It sounds crazy because it's like frog on jewelry, but it's like an engraved frog, and it's got some gems in it. It's very pretty.
Wow, I love that. I'll have to get one of those.
Yeah, you'll love it.
So you're superstitious.
Yeah, I am. I'm very sort of spiritual and like holistic in that sense, but I don't like I definitely love all of that, but I'm not like an expert on it. So I get these people like asking me like so many holistic questions. I'm like, I'm definitely not like a qualified holistic health coach or anything.
No, but I definitely think your generation in particular are like, they're very informed and they understand, the importance of eating well and good health and exercise and
totally.
Yeah. That's all good. And it's just become a part of your everyday life.
Exactly. I mean, but I think it was like my sort of generation more so. Yeah. Because I know like my sister like didn't really exercise. I've always like all my friends and I at university, we were all into the gym. Like everybody was. It was just like, and we were all into like healthy eating, like, sweet potato and all of those things and avocado. I definitely think it's a new craze. But like anything, you've got to keep a balance because people
Yeah.
can go overboard, like
No,
being
but
overly obsessed with
it's
health.
not even like it's a challenge for you. You're just already reaching
Yeah,
for the superfoods. It's just normal for you. It's just the way
yeah,
you don't
it's
even
so
think
true.
about it. Yeah. And so organic is obviously very important for you.
Very important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great. So how does your day begin? How does Sophie's day begin?
So I actually we've since coming back to London, because we definitely overindulged talking about health. We definitely overindulged when we were in the country.
Too many puddings.
And I got back to London, none of my clothes fitted me. And I was like, this
I
isn't okay.
don't believe that. I doubt that.
I promise you, not one item fitted me. And I was like, oh God. So I've actually got a personal trainer who is unbelievable. So my
Okay.
day is starting at the moment with I wake up at sort of like 7:30 and my personal trainer is 8:30. We do it over FaceTime. It's an hour.
Great.
Very hard, but it gets me. I think exercise is always so important. Like I start my day with that and it really puts me in the right frame of mind.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll probably shower and make a bit of breakfast, or like a smoothie. And then I quite like to go on a walk at that time and listen to a podcast. But it depends sort of like what work I've got. I mean, work hasn't been that busy for me during lockdown. So I have had quite a lot of time to sort of like listen to podcasts and read and stuff like that. So I either go on a walk or do something and then probably come back, make something healthy for lunch, try and get a bit of work done. I've like, obviously me and my sister and I are doing GSPIM. So it's quite a lot of like, and we're doing it completely ourselves, the packaging, everything. So,
Wow.
and the website and all of that. So get some of that done. And then by that time, it's sort of the afternoon, probably go on another walk, do a bit of yoga.
Yeah.
I've not read that much. I've said I was going to read loads. I haven't read that much. And then by that time, it's sort of like we're getting ready for dinner. And Jamie and I we're terrible. We don't do very like long. So we probably go get something to eat from the local supermarket.
Yeah.
And then we have to cook something. We're really bad at watching TV. So you probably end up going on another walk, which we are allowed to do now, go on as many walks as we want. And then that's it, really.
That sounds blissful. Sophie.
I'm really busy, as you can see. My days are full.
But that sounds like really, idyllic.
I mean, there have been days where I've had like what jobs on, but if I'm totally honest, I've not had much. I have had a lot of like downtime during, which I kind of like struggled with because some days I'm just like, God, I'm just not doing anything, but I just have to like, there's, as long as you're doing what you're meant to be doing, sort of use this time in the best way you can. Rather than sort of like judging yourself. I think that's what I've had to learn to do, just not like put so much pressure on myself to be doing so many different things. Because really, if I just sit in front of my computer writing all these different emails or doing all of these different things, like half the time, is it actually beneficial? Do you know what I mean? I'm just doing it to make myself feel really busy.
Yeah, totally. There was a post on Instagram circulating about you don't have to be learning 5 languages and baking 5 different recipes of banana bread. You just be in the situation that you're in and make the most of it. Just go with the flow.
Yeah, just sit with it and just sort of like just sort of like try to not put pressure on myself.
Yeah, so you're allowed now to meet. What are the new restrictions now? What are they increasing?
I'm actually allowed to meet up to 6 people in total in an outdoor area.
6 people in an outdoor area.
I mean, that's great. I mean, I wouldn't have a big group of 6. Otherwise, it's like a big old party.
No, totally. And so, where would you normally go? Like parks or wherever?
Yeah, we've been so lucky because Jamie's got like a communal, and it's actually really big, a communal outdoor area. So we've sort of like, I've seen people there, but I've like gone to baths. The parks are so great. We're so lucky to have all of those parks near us. So it's been really nice, but you're allowed to go, you can't go inside someone's house, but you can sit in their outdoor area. So we've got the communal garden and stuff. So it's been really fun.
No, it's perfect. We have been doing that as well. We've been having loads of barbecues and people around.
Yeah,
Yeah, obviously,
exactly.
it's ideal for the situation, really, with the weather. It's
Ideal.
perfect.
I mean, we couldn't have been luckier. I don't know what the weather. I feel like the weather might be turning this week, but
Yeah, I
touch
heard
wood.
that. I know, I know. And I saw that yourself and Jamie were wearing really gorgeous teal kind of colored masks. They were actually a great color. Do you think that the masks will be kind of in your future, of getting dressed every day in the future?
Personally, for me, no. But everybody's different. And I mean, for me, I definitely think I had coronavirus. I haven't been tested, but I definitely lost my sense of smell at the beginning for about 2 weeks. Um, but I don't know. I don't know. It's scary to think that, but I don't think I'll be. If everyone's super different, I
Yeah.
don't think I'll be wearing masks every day. No.
No, I know exactly what you mean. It's only then when we enter the autumn and the winter, and then we're not allowed to be outdoors like in the freedom that we have now. Things might
Yeah,
change. Maybe you'll just reach for one.
yeah.
If you're in a crowded area, it might just make you feel a little
So
safer.
crazy, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
when do you think it's going to be sort of
Oh
go back to
God.
normality?
I don't know. I don't know. We have people coming in to us by appointment only, but we're being super careful, obviously, and
Yeah.
screening them, just sending out an email before they come in, just so everyone feels safe, that way. And so, just another question for you: when you go into somebody else's home, what do you look out for? What's like the first things you kind of notice that you're looking at when you enter someone else's space?
Um, I like looking at sort of like the
Yeah,
pictures and lamps. I think lamps are really important.
yeah, yeah.
There's any sort of like I like to see sort of the like pattern, just the way it sort of flows. I just love interior in general. So whatever sort of like clean cut, different shapes.
Hmm. Hmm. You like art, then? You mentioned art and lamps. Is color
Art and
important to you?
lamps and like just what things on the wall. I think I don't. If I could redecorate my house, I think would I put color in? I'm kind of like my mum. I like everything really neutral,
Hmm.
but just loads of different textures. But it depends because like if you're gonna go neutral, like I want it really light, big open windows with lots of natural light coming through and mirrors. I like lots of different textures of glass and wood and mirrored stuff. I like that sort of look.
Yeah,
But
and
then you could also do like this sort of I love like as that sort of like Hamptons look where it's like sort
yeah,
of shabby chic, dark wooden floors with white, lots of
mm,
white like linen.
beautiful.
You've yeah,
Yeah, timeless. And do
and
you
just
like
go
seeing people's photographs, like of like their memories and their friends and their family? Do you like seeing little shots of
yeah,
other people's?
100%. Just
Yeah,
things that make it like homely as well.
yeah, and it tells you a little bit about them, their personality,
Yeah,
and their story, and all those things. And
totally. And flowers and vases, things like
ex-
that.
exactly. So color is important as well. You like
Yeah,
pops of color and clean. Okay.
yeah.
And would you describe your style as sort of classic, contemporary, or are you more contemporary? Do you like that kind of cleaner lines, more modern, maybe?
Um, Yeah, I would probably say that I probably am. Yeah, I think I like older buildings, but
Yeah.
contemporary interior.
Gotcha. 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 Okay.
So if I could
And
like scoop out an old building and just put it really beautifully in open plan, that would be sort of my dream.
yeah, I love that too. You see a lot of that on the continent, in France and Italy. They
Yeah,
do that really well.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
sort of my art. It's so great.
Mhm. Yeah. And what one piece holds the most special memories for you in your home at the moment?
What one piece? I think maybe jewelry box.
Yeah.
Like I have just a glass, like a mirrored one, which I've always had, and that's just gone from house to house to house because obviously I've moved quite a lot, and I think that's always been
Okay, so your jewelry box that holds the
yeah.
most. And do you like to entertain and cook?
Love to entertain and cook.
So you're the hostess with the mostest.
I love being a host, yeah, but the space that we're in at the moment isn't that we can't really host that many people here.
But you like to.
I
You like
love
to
to,
when you
yeah,
can.
Love to.
And who are your icons in life? Like, who do you look up to and admire? Who's been someone that you always thought, I really like how they've carved out their career, or who is it you look up to?
Um, like, oh my gosh, I always, every time someone asks me a question like this, like I forget the name. There are so many people I think are just great. I love like Blake Lively. I think she's hilarious.
Yeah.
Kate Beckinsale, I think she's also hilarious. And I just think they've, you know, they're so themselves. Eve Longoria, I think she's amazing. I just like what she stands for. John Legend's wife, what's she called?
Oh, yeah.
I love her. Like, I love those females who are just so amazing and they're so beautiful, but they have so much personality and charisma about them. And I just think she's amazing. I can't remember her name because that's just
I know
literally escaping, but she's incredible. She cooks, she's a model, she's got an amazing family. Her house looks unbelievable. My dream house though is Kourtney Kardashian's.
Oh my God, me too. I love her home.
Unreal. It makes me sick.
I think she actually studied interior design. She has done talks at the Pacific Design Center in California. Like, she's very into her design. Yeah, she's good.
She's very into her like health and everything.
Yeah,
she's great. I mean, I don't know as much about her, but like she's really sort of like I think she's used her platform in like a good way, and I think she's
definitely
into like really similar like things to what I am.
So is Chloe though, with her animal rights kind of
Totally. I mean, they all have Kim as helping. She's helping like crime now in America.
Yeah.
Criminal injustice.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, as a family, they've just absolutely smashed it. Like, I just, when people obviously have their things to say about the Kardashians, I'm just like, well done them. Like, they've just.
No, I agree with you. I just think Kris is the queen of all things social media. She's just the queen.
Unbelievable talent. She's like that family. I mean, that's crazy.
And she's so determined. Like, she has gotten through some really tough times. Like, she really. Yeah. People probably don't know enough about her personally. She's pretty amazing. They just see her and this superficial everything that she has out there on the front line, but she's a good person. Yeah. She's definitely a good person. So, Sophie, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
In the next 5 years, I actually would love to be living. I want to live in America within the next 5 years. Yeah. I don't know if I want to move there permanently, but I definitely want to move abroad. I just think that the sun and that sort of lifestyle, I think I'd regret it if I didn't. And I think now, whilst I don't have children and I'm not married, etc., obviously, like I'd ideally move with Jamie. It's not like bye, but whilst we've got this sort of freedom, I think that's something that I'd want to do in the next 5 years. But I want, obviously, I'd love my companies to be doing really. I'd love G Swim to be doing amazingly. Sure. I want to definitely be able to be in a different place with holistic health. I do need to learn a lot more about it, but definitely at that point, I want to be able to advise people about it. That's where I'd like to be. And living in a house that, that we've both, like got and decorated, and, I've really put a stamp on it.
Yeah, it sounds like California would be good for you, like West Hollywood. That sounds like your vibe, actually.
I would really love that.
If you like the kind of clean white lines, beautiful architecture, modern interiors, healthy living.
It does sound very up my street. I mean, I would love to do that. It's just about finding the right time and also just taking risks, because obviously it's scary to do that. Everything I know in London.
No, I know. But look, there's so many Londoners living there. So many people.
So true. And also, like, I've been actually speaking about it a lot during this lockdown. Like, nothing's forever. You can just go, and if you don't, you can try it out, or you can break it in easily. But that's definitely something that I'm looking into.
For sure. Life's full of experiences. That's what it's all about. Exactly. So, how important is social media to you in your business?
I think social media is so important it can be used in such an amazing way. It's definitely massively helped our business. I mean, G Swim wouldn't, we wouldn't have really, I don't know how we would have got anyone to know about it if it wasn't for social media. And that's why it is so crazy. Like, it is really, you don't realize the impact you have when you've got a following. And I think I've really sort of appreciated that during lockdown. So social media is very, 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 very useful for companies, and that's why I think that you can use it in the right way. But it's just, obviously there is sort of that element to it, whereas you don't want to spend. I definitely think that as a person, personally, it does make you feel disconnected. It does give you that sense of FOMO, whatever, because you're looking at people's stories. So it's definitely about learning how to use it and manage it yourself, because you can't be negative about something if you're the one who's allowing yourself to use it in a negative way, if you get what I'm saying.
Totally agree with you. Love that. And Sophie, what advice would you give to your younger self? I know you're just a baby, but what advice would you give to your younger self?
I love that you're calling me a baby. I would just, don't judge yourself, and everything, I honestly believe that everything happens for a reason, and you're meant to be going on whatever journey you're going on. So just don't judge yourself. Be kind to yourself.
Love that. And I'm just going to ask you something very quickly on a separate note. It's called the quick fire round of questions. You ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. Tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Bath or shower?
Shower.
Bra or knickers?
Knickers.
Text or talk?
Text.
Wine or champagne?
Wine.
Night owl or early bird?
Ooh, night owl. That's not true. I'm an early bird.
Glass half empty or glass half full?
Glass half full.
Bedside left or right?
Right.
Cat or dog?
Dog.
Taxi or walk?
Walk.
Home or abroad?
Home.
Eat in or go out?
Go out.
High street or couture?
Sure.
Fashion or interiors?
Interior.
Kourtney or Khloe Kardashian?
Kourtney.
Locked in or locked out?
Lock me out.
And your favorite podcasts to listen to? Private Parts or 6 Degrees?
Private Parts.
Made in Chelsea or question mark?
Question mark? I don't know. I'm going to go for question mark.
Well, what else would it be if it wasn't made in Chelsea?
I don't know.
Maybe made in Los Angeles.
There you go. You don't know. Wild is my oyster.
Made in somewhere. Well, thank you so much for joining me today.
No, thank you so much for having me. It was so nice to speak to you.
And I look forward to meeting you when I'm allowed to go over to the UK and everything loosens up again. It'll be good to meet.
And hopefully by then we'll be in a new place and you can help me make it beautifully, like the Hamptons or Kourtney Kardashian's house.
Oh yeah, totally. Somewhere in between. We'll find the right word for you. It'll be your style. Exactly. Well, listen, take care. Mind yourself.
And you.